First of all, I want to thank the FHKI for inviting me to share the automation journey of Cathay Pacific Catering Services Hong Kong. I will call it CPCS from now. I'm Jenny Lam, the Chief Executive Officer of CPCS. Today we have many automation experts in the forum from both the user side and the supply side. But we hope that you can share our passion for automation to deliver our promises of service quality with consistent, accurate product and timeliness. And this is what we believe to be our winning edge in our business. I would like to give you a brief introduction about our company. Firstly, we are a wholly owned subsidiary of Cathay Pacific Airways, and our business started since 1967 at the old Kai Tak Airport with 50 staff producing 500 meals a day. And yes, this year, 2017, is our 50th anniversary. And you can see that today we have in total 48 airlines customers, including Cathay Pacific. And we are employing 2,300 staff, and with a daily meal production of over 83,000. We also registered a record daily meal production of 99,000 in January this year. This is to give you a snapshot of all the airline customers that we are serving. As I know, many people think that we are only catering for Cathay Pacific, and it's not. We have 48 airlines customers in total. And because we have 48 airlines customers, you see the challenge with airline catering is the complexity and the timeliness, because airlines concerns a lot on their on-time performance. And each airline has their own menu and equipment designated on each route. And each day, we are preparing over 1,000 menu with over 1,000 of equipment SKUs. So our staff must ensure that all the food and equipment are loaded correctly into the plane. On a daily basis, we are turning around over 2 million pieces of equipment from incoming to the outgoing flights. Achieving profitable growth is every company's goal. And our challenges are not different from any of you. Hong Kong is the gateway to China and an important international aviation hub. The third runway is under construction. We must ensure that we have the capacity and capability to cope with the foreseeable growth. Replacing manual efforts with automation is a trend that is unmistakable when it comes to maintaining enterprises' landscapes. Luckily, we have a resourceful and committed team, and one of our key strategies to win the competition is through automation. We sent our team to travel around Europe to interview with different industries and logistics operators to understand how they deploy automation technology. With the help of our partners, we were able to pioneer a few advanced automated systems in the airline catering industry. And they include the vertical chilling cart buffer, optical recognition system, and our tray setting machines, which enables our colleagues to do their jobs better and faster. But there are also a number of other factors that are driving our speed to automation. In 6 years, we saw our business volume grew 40%, both in the number of meals and the number of flights. So this sounds to be a happy problem because we have more business. But space is a big constraint, and land supply in the airport is very limited, and rental is phenomenal. And the most killing problem is the manpower shortage. We're constantly under-resourced by double digit, plus high staff turnover. I'm sure the same problem are also faced by other industries, especially the ones that employ semi to low skill workers. In our business, food cost used to be the biggest cost component, and is already overtaken by labor costs. So these factors have, however, turned around the justification for investment in automation. Automation brings productivity. If we measure in unit cost of production, with the same or less amount of space and people, we get higher output of production. And not only that, our people are happier when they work less overtime and less heavy-duty workload. Looking back, CPCS had always been looking forward long term. When we designed our facility before we moved to Chalapcock, we started planning to develop customized integrated automation systems because we foresaw the difficulty in hiring people to work at Chalapcock. We saw our automation journey evolving through the leverage against internal and external opportunities. And over time, we also mechanized our production process using specialized food processing equipment to increase output and consistency. And in the past 20 years, there had been multiple economic downturns, but all this integrated process re-engineering with automation has also proven the payback. Looking forward, our focus will be shifting towards intelligent automation. In the next few slides, I would like to share with you the automation systems that we have already put in place. And firstly, this is the first cart management system. It's helped to transport over 4,000 containers from the inbound to the outbound of our facility. Without this system, we will need a lot of people to push them from one processing unit to another processing unit. And this is our high bay warehouse and a material handling system. As I said, we have thousands of SKUs to manage. So we are using this system for sorting and transporting of equipments to the various processing areas on demand. The automation back then did not really optimize on speed, but more on storage, transportation, and reduction of labor. Lately, we introduced this new cutlery sorting machines with optical recognition. Because we handle many airlines' cutleries, they have their own brand, their own dimension, shapes, so many different types. So with this intelligent cutlery sorting machines, they're able to recognize both plastic and metal cutlery, different shapes and dimensions. It increases our efficiency and accuracy. And this big brazier equipment can handle 200 kilo of fried rice in one batch. It can be used for braising or cooking congee. So we only need one staff to man the brazier. And this is an omelette station. On a daily basis, we have to produce over 6,000 omelette dishes. So with 2 staff working a 9-hour shifts, we're able to produce 6,000 omelettes. CPCS has just completed the construction of an extension facility. Our footprint has increased from 50,000 to up to now over 70,000 square meters. The planning work started in 2014. Our team worked in collaboration with solution consultants and traveled around Europe to explore new generation automation that can manage high volume and complexity whilst delivering high speed. This is also an optical recognition bin handling unit. It further enhanced the accuracy by reducing manual errors in data input. And these are the vertical chilling buffer, where we have all the food carts being stored and transported between processing units. And it's fully refrigerated. Our company is the first in airline catering to use this vertical chill buffer to store and transport meal carts and food. The vertical buffer generates significant savings on space and chilling efficiency. I'm sure all of you will be very familiar. I assume you have all flown Cathay Pacific before. This is a very typical economy class tray set. And on a daily basis, we have to handle 45,000 trays. And we have to insert them into 1,100 carts. Tray setting is one of the most labor-intensive parts of our operation. And the picture that you see is the manual tray setting area before our automation. Workers are sitting by the assembly equipment, and they're surrounded by the equipment, and they have to assemble the equipment according to the specification. They operate with repetitive motions and with a lot of bending and lifting. They also frequently suffer from occupational injury. Tray setting is the first area of intelligent automation being put into operation in CPCS. The hourly throughput of the machine is 4 times higher than manual operation. CBCS was the first airline catering company in Asia Pacific successfully implemented the automatic tray setting machine. We are very proud of it because this machine was made in Hong Kong. Throughout the development process, we truly realized the benefit of the proximity to the manufacturer. We could send all the equipment to the manufacturer for testing and tuning before the installation. We managed this as a pilot project, whilst not aiming for the most advanced and sophisticated machine. We would rather have it up and running sooner and keep the project cost low. Because we know there were bound to be lessons learned, and they can be fed back into the development of our second tray setting line. The good news is our second tray setting line will be much more sophisticated and will very soon be in operation. You can see after the automation, the tray setting area is much neater than before. When we see automation, they always look amazing and flashy. But we must not forget the integration of the upstream and downstream process and the scheduling. And this may include how we feed the material to the machines, the intelligence of our operators, and the maintenance of the machines. We still kept a manual station in our first tray set line to tray set the container with food for food safety reason, and also use that for quality control. It always takes time to internalize automation. There could be off-the-shelf products or machines, but there is no off-the-shelf solution for making automation an integral part of your business. So in automation, always go beyond skin deep. Another sharing is operators used to be doing the tray setting work are now being retrained to control the automated tray set machine. In the development process, we engaged our operators in the prototyping, and then subsequently in the testing and tuning of the machine. They felt valued when they could contribute to the development and the success of the implementation. Automation brings efficiency and quality, but also improves our staff work life. Our goal is to deliver smart results with smart machines and smart people. In the whole tray setting process, the final part is the inserting of the tray into the cart. But it was found to be the most complicated part of the machine operation because of the tray orientation requirement. Because airlines is very specific about orientation, the facing of the logo, the left and right of the equipment is very precise. With a good partner who helped identify these complications and came up with workable solutions without blowing a budget is very important. It is not simply about automating a process or buying a machine, but a total solution to significantly improve productivity and quality so that we have happy staff and happy customers. Finding a good partner and building trust is the key success factor to automation. So if I may summarize our experience, automation is a journey and it's not a destination. It is a learning process that cannot or should not be outsourced. There is a risk of not moving, as we may be driven out of competition. But there is also risk when we implement automation. We must know how to manage our risk, and our tips are forming trusting partnership, quick prototyping with intensive hand-holding, and engaging our operators. So what's next? There are a few initiatives already in our pipeline. Firstly, I already mentioned the optical recognition. We'll need to develop more solutions with optical recognition, being able to recognize food and matching temperature records for better control of food safety. Temperature control is the most important in our food processing. Gesture control. Staff can use gesture to control the operation. This is to prevent our operators from touching the control unit because they are non-food when they are handling food. And traceability. We need to trace food and equipment from one end to the other end. And this helps food safety and also waste management. So I'm coming to the end of my sharing. Finally, I wish this forum a success. Automation is the future of industrial enterprises, and I think to the future of Hong Kong. And to bring the automation technology industry to a new era, there needs to be more collaboration between the industry, and I hope to get more support from the government. Thank you.